What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, wanted to talk about the Colts' upcoming schedule. The next 6 weeks, definitely going to be an interesting set of games coming up for the Indianapolis Colts. And quite a few, honestly, guys, after watching what Indy has been able to do through the first 3 weeks, definitely seems like they can win quite a few of these. So, let's go ahead and hop into it real quick. So, the first game that the Colts have, which obviously is this next Sunday, is the Rams at home. Now, if you remember the last time the Colts played the Rams at home, it was a close game. Colts almost won it, but that was back in 2021 with Carson Wentz. This Rams team is definitely not as good as that one once was. The Rams have had a very difficult time keeping Matt Stafford afloat. Matt Stafford statistically is having one of his worst seasons of his entire career to start out. The offense just is not the same. Their offensive line is extremely unhealthy and isn't doing a great job of stopping defenses. And this is forcing the Rams defense to stay on the field for a lot longer. And remember, they don't have Jalen Ramsey anymore, so they don't have a lockdown corner like they used to. Yes, you still have Aaron Donald back there, but the presence of the Rams defense has just not been the same. Needless to say, this Rams team is just not the same Rams team as it once was. They are 1-2 for a reason. Their best attribute right now is that their rushing attack, their running back Kyron Williams is averaging, I think, dang near 5 yards a carry right now. So Kyron Williams has been playing very well. And of course, that's been one of the biggest weaknesses that the Colts have had through the first couple weeks defensively. But the Rams definitely are a chance for the Indianapolis Colts to build on their record. It is a team they're very capable of beating. We saw how the Colts defense has 12 sacks on the year, and we saw Cincinnati sacked Matt Stafford, I think it was 6 times on Monday Night Football. So expect the Rams, because the Rams were in Cincy. So the Rams have to fly all the way back to LA, practice there, and then fly all the way back to the Midwest once again to play Indianapolis. So 2 road games. They're coming off of a bad loss, a lot of injuries, and Aaron Donald's a little bit banged up. So I think this could be a prime game for the Indianapolis Colts to win if Anthony Richardson is playing. And then, of course, you go into week 5. You have the Tennessee Titans. That'll be the first time that the Colts will face the Tennessee Titans. And we saw last week, they got absolutely destroyed by the Cleveland Browns. The Browns held Henry to under 30 yards rushing, got to Tannehill 3 times. The Titans are one very lucky game away from being 0-3 right now, as it is. So the Titans not off to a great start for them. Of course, we know how it is when it comes to Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans facing the Colts. But again, feels like the Colts are in the better position right now when it comes to overall how their team is playing. And then, of course, you have the hardest game of the entire season, and that is the Colts going to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars once again, and the place that the Colts have not won in nearly a decade. So it is definitely a big one. Of course, if the Colts can win back-to-back games against the Tennessee Titans and the Jaguars, you're putting yourself in a really good situation in the AFC South. Winning that division, that would be huge. Be a huge boost in morale for this team. And it's a different team. It's a different mindset, different personality. Anthony Richardson presumably will be a couple more weeks into the playbook. We'll have a better understanding of what this team's going to throw at him. and you have a situation where you feel like Juju Brents and Dallas Flowers can cover Calvin Ridley better. So, that could be a game, but you certainly hope it can. Second hardest game will be the Indianapolis Colts versus the Cleveland Browns in week 7. That one will definitely be difficult. The Browns have the number 1 defense in the entire NFL right now. I know that their offense has been hit or miss, but of course, like I said, that defense is playing out of its mind. Barely anyone can pass on them. No one can run the football on them. And it's very difficult. You certainly hope that Jonathan Taylor will be back to help with putting that off, right? So that one will definitely be a challenging one. So weeks 6 and 7 definitely are going to be very, very challenging. And week 8, I'm not throwing anything past it either. The New Orleans Saints. I know the New Orleans Saints are not putting everything together right now. They did just lose to Green Bay in dramatic fashion this last week. So definitely not a team that is all put together. Their defense makes some plays. Their offense is still trying to figure it out. So it is still ways for the Saints to go. And of course, Indianapolis is right there in that boat with them. But one thing that you can say is I definitely think the Colts can get pressure on Derek Carr and make things difficult for him going forward. And then, of course, week 9, the game that everyone wants to watch, and that is the Colts facing Frank Reich and the Carolina Panthers. Really want to see, especially if you're a Colts fan, see the Colts win this game in Carolina, because Carolina is one of only 4 teams in the NFL that does not have a win yet in this season. So look at it as a prime chance to, if you can stop Brian Burns and you can get pressure on Bryce Young, you are going to be in prime position to win this football game. And we have seen time and time again, teams take apart Carolina's offense because Carolina cannot throw the football consistently because their offensive line is not very good. And the Colts defensive line will definitely match very well with the Carolina Panthers. So a lot of great things happening over the next 6 weeks. There is a good accumulation of games here that the Colts have a very good chance in. But outside of the Jaguars and the Browns, and the only reason that the Jaguars being that, that it's just in Jacksonville, so no one has really a lot of confidence yet. And then, of course, if you look at the Browns, like I said, their defense is unreal right now. If you just look at that, I mean, outside of that, every single one of these games, all of them really are winnable, and the Colts are in a great position after Baltimore to win and move on and try to get further along in this AFC South picture. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts over the next 6 weeks. What do you think this record's going to look like for the Colts? Who do we stack well against? Who do we not stack well against? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And as always, go Colts.